Heavy load for easy living task in Costa Atardecer, Chiapas. Hello there everybody and welcome to a special episode of SnowRunner here at Overfed Gaming. I am the Overfed. We are in the heavy load for easy living task where we gotta pick up an oversized cargo container here at the port. Now we gotta drag it all the way across the map to the hotel with the Avenhorn A15 that we're driving here. Now we picked our best truck in our fleet to do this job because it's a very difficult job. Now the port is in the very far left hand corner or west side, bottom corner of the map, and the hotel is in the very right hand side corner of the map. So we got to go all the way along the bottom, but you can't just drive as the crow flies, as many of you know. We're going to go back and forth, and we got a few little pitfalls that we got to contend with. But that's okay, we're up to the task. We got the best truck on the job. We're going to take our time. It's not a race, but we do want to make sure we get it delivered. Now the first problem, as you've been watching, is trying to get out of the port itself. Well, once we got the rig turned around there, yeah, it's a little bit easier going. Now it's just a U shape here. Moving over to the other side and back up the other ramp and then out of the parking lot of the port itself. And then we'll be out on the highway heading over towards the hotel. If it was only that easy. Now the very first thing you're going to come up against is there's going to be a little bit of a break in the road up ahead. But just stay over to the side a little bit as long as you got double axles in the back. And we got the twin steer with the Avenhorn, and it just kind of rolls over top of little tears in the road or holes without too much of an issue. And don't worry too much about the trailer. It'll follow you most of the time. I've had it where it didn't, but usually it will. Now that little tear in the road that I was talking about is just up ahead here. And you do gotta keep the off track under consideration somewhat. Just right over here. And I just try to stay a little bit closer to the right hand side. And then you miss most of it and it's not really an issue. Now just up ahead, the road itself, the highway was washed out. Well, half of it is anyhow. The bridge, kind of the bridge area is completely broken down. But one lane is still intact. Now I didn't realize that you could go down and up on that bridge. I thought it was only one side of it was intact, but both are. So you don't have to go down into the water down below on the left hand side if you don't want to. Just go straight out to the bridge. Had I known this, I would have saved myself a little bit of trouble a few times that I've gone through here. Now, as you can see, we've already used this bridge coming up this way once, and that's when we realized that the other side is exactly the same. This saves a little bit of time just doing it this way. Now, I should have taken it a little bit wider, made a little bit of a turn a little bit, because once we get over to this other section, we're kind of dragging it along the side. It didn't quite give it enough room around the side of the broken down part of the bridge, but we get it up there. The Avenhorn doesn't fail us. Now once we get back up on the highway here, you'd think, well, whew, that was not too bad, you know? And if we're doing mostly highway driving, well then that would be okay, but we're not. Of course we're not. Just up ahead here, we got to get off the highway on the right hand side. And now you can see there's a ditch beside us there, and you just gotta go down into it slowly, not too quickly, and try and go into it from the left hand side the way I am. And if you don't go too fast, then your truck won't flip, your trailer won't come undone, and you just kind of roll down into the side of it. And we're going to roll over to the water and just follow the water along until we find a place where we can cross over. Now we're still traveling along the bottom of the map. And now again, as we're going down by the water, we're traveling right with it. Now when you're down here, there's a couple of places where you can go up on the right hand side and over and around, but you don't have to. And I didn't realize this the first few times I went through, and I did go up there, but I had a smaller vehicle too, so it wasn't really an issue. But when you go through there with a truck and a trailer, it becomes a big problem. Now this next one here, you have to go around on the right hand side, because on the left the water is too deep. So it's one of the few you have to go around, and it's a tight turn for a big truck and a long 5 cargo slot trailer. So you kind of get held up a little bit there. And here too, there is no way around it. All you can do is just overshoot it a little bit, readjust your truck, and then hope that he's got enough power to be able to drag it past those rocks, and it'll kind of just push it straight. And that's what we're going to hope for. Just a little bit further. Just like that. Now once you come through here and you straighten out, you can pretty well see where the tracks go. Now over, just up ahead here, just a little bit further, there's another outcropping, and I used to go around it on the right hand side all the time, and until I realized I didn't have to, and I don't do that anymore. And it's just up ahead. It makes it for so much easier driving when you can just drive straight. Now I just passed it. I would have normally have gone to the right and gone behind those trees and come down on the other side. Now it is a little bit deeper here with the water, and you are a little bit of an angle, but if that doesn't bother you, this is the easier way to go. And then here, as it shows, is where we're going to cross the water and go over to the other landmass and follow along the beach until we get to where the hotel is. Now the Avenhorn's got fairly high. The air intakes for the engine is up above the hood of the motor, so they're fairly high. So we don't have too much of an issue with deep water. And the weight that he is pulling, I have not seen anything yet that I've pulled in the game that the Avenhorn can't handle. So I'm not too worried about the strength, the power of the truck. I do worry about the sight of the Opafet, because if you look, the only part of the rock that sticks out, and I run into it. Yeah. Sometimes it can't be helped. Now when we come around the corner here, there's a little, I don't know if it's a little cabana place or what it is, but there's little buildings there and a little fence, kind of little houses, 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyhow, don't go to the right hand side of them, go to the left, go in behind. If you go to the right hand side, you'll end up with a lot more mud problems than you probably want to deal with. So if we go in behind them, we only have to go in part way, and then we can go through the warehouse parking lot, which is also paved. Always try to keep an eye out for an easier route or better traction. See here, you can go straight and go around the back of that building, but then you're going through water and mud again. If you go in the front of it, you're going on pavement or stone or whatever they got down here. as we're turning the corner, now it's just a little straight section before we got to climb off the beach. And that's in a little bit. First we got to worry about the beach part. I wasn't too sure what would be the best route to get through here, but I always like to try and go with wherever the tracks go, because most of the time those tracks go in the best place. Not always. Sometimes they go through a muddy area that's not all that much fun to go through. But sometimes the area that looks muddy, like this time on the right hand side of the tree here, sometimes it's easier. However, in this case it was not. Both the left hand or the right hand side basically the same. They give you a little bit of trouble. If you got a good strong truck with a lot of power, not an issue. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take you to get through. If the truck is a little underpowered, you're going to have to use your winch a little bit to pull yourself through, but you'll get through it. And as you can see, the location marker has appeared on the screen, and so it's just down the beach a little ways, not too far away. But before we can get there, if we continue to drive right along the beach to try and get to it, we'll find we'll have to turn around and come back. Because one way or another, we've got to hit a road that runs parallel with us, but is a little bit over on the left-hand side, up on the ridge. We got to get up on that road. Now, I've been through some area down here a little ways with the Plaid 450, and I left them in a convenient spot for this particular job in case there was any trouble and I needed a helper truck. Well, you can't see him just yet. We're still a little ways away, but right where he's sitting, that's where we're going to have to climb up. And if we get into any kind of trouble, well, he's there. If we run out of fuel, he's there. Well, our fuel is going to be okay with that. Not the ideal track, I would say, but we seem to be able to make some good time here, though. Now you can see the Plaid up ahead there, and just in front of him is where we're gonna, well, a little bit in front of him, we're gonna turn to the left. So we're gonna take a little bit of a wider turn here because of those boulders on the left-hand side there. Because we got to crawl up right where that grassy area is to the, well, right in front of us now. That's where we're going to have to go up. Now, whenever you're in a situation like this and you can't quite make it up there, there's always Mr. Winch to give you a hand. Once the Avenhorn is up there, you can drag the rest of the trailer up there, no problem. Then we only have one more little trouble area just around the corner. We got to go up a little bit of an angle, and then at the top of the little angle it flattens out onto the road, and our stabilizer legs of the trailer got caught on the ridge right where the cement and the grass area is. I got stuck there for a little bit, but I chopped it off because I didn't want to have to bore you with that part of it, so I just kind of got rid of it. But I did want to let you know, if you decide to go through this area, those stabilizer legs might be a problem, so keep that in mind. Anyhow, great video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got some tips out of it, and hope to see you back at Oversized Gaming again real soon. Until then, we've been doing the heavy load for easy living task where we are delivering an oversized cargo container to the hotel with the Avenhorn A15 and me as your driver, the Oversized.